host, shooters, loaders, and casters. Welcome to the Georgia Shooting Connection Friday Night live stream. Hope y'all had a good week. We've got a couple of people that are usually on the panel that are MIA this evening, and we've got a couple of others that are going to be late. We're expecting Scotsman around 8:30, and Hillbilly is watching the fight, and he'll be here as soon as it's over with. He said, "I'll probably be there in just a little bit, man. I don't expect it to last long." And Gene has a match tomorrow, so he'll be watching the fight and eating pizza, and then he's going to shoot a match. Tomorrow is Gene's birthday, and I believe that guy was
a couple days ago. I was 29 again. Lots of experience at 29.
My wife's birthday was Tuesday the 12th, and we went to Texas Roadhouse, and they came out there and brought the saddle on the high chair and all that crap. And they were going to sing. They made her do the Yahoo kind of crazy stuff. Anyway, she said, "How old are you?" And she said, one of our waiters said she's 21, and Lisa said, "No, I'm 20." And so as we were leaving, the lady says, "Now make sure you come back next year so you can have a drink." I'm like, what crap? Anyway, welcome in all you guys on the side panel. We got a crowd already. CW, how was your week, brother?
It was a really good week. It was a really good one. I kind of zoomed right by. I got to the range. I did some yard work. I bought myself a smoker. I've been playing with that for a couple days. Cool. I got a whole bunch of brass in. I was sorting and going through all that. I did some reloading. It was a pretty good week. Pretty good week overall. Ricky, how was your week?
It was pretty good. Had a good weekend over last weekend. Went hunting and stuff. Work was pretty good this week. Got a couple projects done yesterday and today, so I'm good. How about you, Dr. Zink?
I don't know if he's back yet. He was making popcorn.
That's right. Yeah, he's going to get popcorn.
That's right. How about Rebel?
Well, Sunday, I knew it was going to rain, and I knew we were going to get a bigger rain yesterday. So Helene did some damage to the roof of Bullseye, and I had a couple people volunteer to do it, but we're MIA. You know how that is. So I went to climb up on this metal roof to repair the damage, and my left leg cramped up, and I realized real quick that I was a little too old to be scrambling around on a roof. So I got down and said there's more ways to skin a cat, and pulled the truck up real close to the shop and put the ladder in the back of the truck, got her fixed and caulked and screwed down, and we're all good, and I'm not broke up, you know.
That's good.
If you use a ladder to climb another ladder, you may be a redneck.
You may be a redneck.
Yep.
So there's that. So, yeah, any predictions on the fight?
Tyson, if he's getting old, so let's just say second round, 30 seconds in.
Ricky?
I don't know. I don't even know who this guy is he's fighting. So
Dead man walking.
Yeah. There was a time in this world when it didn't matter who might.
No.
Then came that fateful night when James Buster Douglas lost his mama, and he had something to prove, and he had heart, and that was something. That was something to see. I watched that on HBO.
That was a big boy too. He was a big man.
Yeah, he was. Oh, Dr. Zink's back with the popcorn.
Yep.
How was your week?
Well, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday was 3 days of wasted time to put the solar panels back on the roof. And then the controller box that controls them for some reason wouldn't talk to them properly. And so now I got to send another group of guys out to figure it out. So that was my Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And that was about it. Really uneventful. Just downstairs, a little bit of catching up on resizing brass that I shot.
That's always good. Lots of comments about the fight. Bama Dad said Tyson slapped Paul at the weigh-in.
Yeah. Did see that. He stepped on his toe. He let him know it.
Yeah, it's going to be worse than that. It's going to be worse.
I did have a group of young people that have just kind of got into reloading, and I told them, I said, guys, you're getting into reloading at the best time and the worst time. And they said, what do you mean? I said, well, the availability of components is hard. I said, but this will turn you into a scrounger. And that's what the mentality you need to have as a reloader. You need to be a hoarder. You need to be a scrounger. Whatever you do, whether it's cast or whatever, you need to be a scrounger. And they said, well, we just came in to ask Yoda. And I went, I am not Yoda. I said, I know plenty of Yodas. I know plenty of Obi-Wans too. I said, I said, we all hone our craft a different way. And well, you're our Yoda. Okay, that's fine. Scrounge. Buy now. I don't care how much it costs.
So, yeah, my week has been one of the best of the year. I worked Monday, and I've taken the rest of the week off to go deer hunting. And the Lord blessed us with a harvest, and we're thankful and grateful for that. So,
What'd you get, Jamie?
I just killed two little bucks.
Good meat.
We ain't seeing no doe where I live, where I hunt, and the property owner's been telling us for about 3 years now, kill all the does, all of them. He says, I'm going to turn these boys loose and I'm going to let them kill 20 does. And he's done that the last 2 years because he couldn't grow anything on the place. He's trying to get dove coming in there. All them boys are on the shotgun team, the skeet team at one of the schools, and he wants them to be able to shoot doves, and he can't get anything because all the deer are eating them all up. So he says, take all the does. And now this year we're not seeing any does to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
So
needs to slow down then.
That's where the place I go to, that's what I do is help them manage their herd. And usually I see tons of mature does. I wasn't seeing nothing. The only ones I was seeing was ones that was having little ones with them. So, we try.
I'll tell you how bad it is here. We had a 2-year running deprivation permit because a farmer was getting his soybeans wiped out. They were eating a third of a crop in a 20-acre field or two 20-acre fields, 40 acres combined. And we killed 20 does in August 1 year and 20 in another. Didn't put a dent in them. I could drive by there right now, shine a light out. There'd be 15, 20 does out there in that field.
So I got a little fork-horn buck and a 9-point. One of them was mature enough that I was
What'd you think about that monster I sent you?
Incredible, man.
That don't happen around here.
Yeah. And our deer definitely smaller than what's up north, and ain't nothing we can do about that. We just enjoy hunting them. We have no control over how big they are. But puts meat on the table, and
Yep.
Lord knows we need it right now, because I think most of y'all know my daughter and Rigby are living here at our house with us now, so that's a blessing, man. Plus to have some meat.
But it's more mouths to feed. Yep, I understand. Now, this man right here, wait, hang on. He's got some big deer.
Yeah, we got some big ones. I've got 3 on my cameras this year that are going to go pushing 250 for sure. For sure. I got a new buck that came through last night. First time I ever saw him, so they're definitely rutting and moving. But you can see these big ones when they come through, standing next to a doe. The doe looks like she's less
miniature.
Yeah, she looks like a miniature deer. Yeah, they're like half the size.
The buck I showed Jamie, Green scored 200, and then I saw a camera, a game camera picture of him, and heck, he broke off 2 drop times.
Wow.
So yeah, it's hard telling what that thing would have scored.
Only one of the bucks I got coming in is really a nice buck, and he's not a giant. He's a nice buck. He might be a 10. I think he's a big 8 or a 9. But I only get pictures of him at night, so night vision, and the pictures are not really sharp, so it's hard to count points when he could only move in his head.
Yeah.
But he's probably 24 wide. He's probably 10-inch tines. So he's nice, but he's not a monster.
That's a hoss.
It's a big deer, yeah. And he'll go 250 plus. You can see his belly. He's got a sow belly. He's got a sway back. He's an older deer. He's the best one I got on my cameras. But every year, both of these on either side of me here, on either side, are deer that we never saw all year long. They walked out and just happened to walk in front of me. Never saw them on the cameras. Never saw them before. But we got a nice big 6-pointer. He's got to be 20 inches wide, 8-inch long G2s, and just little bitty brow tines, and that's all he is. He's a nice wide, 4-point, 6-point, depending on how you count him. And he's a big deer. And then we got a 4-point like Jamie's little one, which is just a little double 4-point, not even 12 inches wide, and he'll go over 200. Absolutely.
Good Lord.
All the rest of them are normal size.
Tex, I guarantee you, and you Tex, I'll guarantee you that those small deer in North Texas are bigger than the ones in Florida. And that right there is a hoss. I bet that deer weighed over 250 pounds.
Yeah, that's a lot of horns. It's a lot of bone up on the head there.
Yeah, it is. And the thing I love about it, their necks get all swelled up this time of the year, and it's from carrying that weight for one thing, and it's from all the sparring and the fighting and all that activity. Plus, they're making scrapes, they're rubbing their heads on trees, making rubs, and it's just really cool to see them with them big old swelled up necks.
I got one of my videos making a scrape.
But they're losing weight too because they're not eating. They're concentrating on ladies.
Mm-hmm.
And
this guy here you could see his backbone. His hindquarters were really, really thin. He was 178, 173 and he was a lot bigger deer than that. But this guy over here, him right there, he was 262 after hanging for 3 or 4 days.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
That's when you call for help getting him up on the back of the four-wheeler. Yeah.
Yeah, they just getting ready to start rut out there where I was in Uvalde, Texas.
Rut here is where exactly you're talking about here, around here. They're either winding up, it's right at the end stages of the rut, or it's wide open.
It's wide open here.
My favorite time is the pre-rut, right before they're when the bucks are chasing and the doe ain't running. It's kind of like, you're crazy, you kind of thing. It reminds us of us when we were younger.
Yeah, I'd have been an easy kill at 16.
So, Gene's not going to be with us, but we are going to talk a little bit about something he showed us earlier today. He popped in and say hey, and he's sorry he couldn't make it. But y'all, if y'all have any way to get in touch with Gene, remember tomorrow's his birthday. So blow him up, tell him happy birthday. So I'm kind of excited about the fight tonight, but Tommy boy.
I heard something about the fight that the rules are 2-minute rounds instead of 3-minute rounds, and it's supposed to only go max of 8 instead of 12.
So 16 minutes of actual punch throwing. Is that what we're hearing?
Well, it depends on Tyson if he comes out and takes him out in the first few minutes. Seconds, I should say.
Have any of y'all ever boxed?
I did a little.
I worked off a couple of black belts, and then I started working through college, and I was friends with a Golden Glove boxer, and he said, we ought to spar sometime. Me being 18, 19 years old, I said, sure. He said, you can't use your feet now. Sure. Yeah, that was a mistake. I had on headgear, and he knocked me in the next week. I think my first kid was dizzy from him.
All right. UConn says the pre-fights are now on. Hey, out AA, what's going on, buddy? So, yeah, I think first thing we need to talk about is it's almost time to, we only got 10 minutes, but we can start into our topic tonight, which is, how do I say this correctly? William Henry Jordan, born in the year 1911 in the great state of Louisiana, as opposed to the Bill Jordan that was born in Georgia who runs Realtree Camo. Two totally different guys, same name. I was expecting at least a chuckle from that. Come on, guys.
He calls himself Jordan, doesn't he?
Okay.
I never understood that. I always called him Bill Jordan, and he on TV he always said Jordan.
Well, it's spelled the same because when I looked up Bill Jordan, I got a bunch of his stuff. And there's Artac. What's going on, Artac? Y'all say hey to Artac.
Hey.
Popcorn man. Hey.
Daniel's been snorting the gunpowder instead of putting it in his 9mm.
Jiffy mix.
Yeah, he's being mean to me tonight, y'all. I mean, he's being mean to me. There's Jeremy Gunslinger, too. Where you been so long, dude? thought I read earlier you got another job. So let me give you the rundown here. Uh, William Henry Jordan, 1911 to 1997, was an American lawman, United States Marine, and author. He was born in Louisiana, served 28 years in the United States Border Patrol. He also served in the United States Marine Corps Reserve during World War II and Korea. He retired from the Marine Reserve as a colonel.
Dang, I didn't know that.
Jordan was credited with developing the Jordan or Border Patrol style of holster. The Jordan rig is rigid and unmoving, always holding the gun butt in precisely the same relationship to the gun hand. The revolver's trigger guard is completely exposed and the gun is held away from the back portion of the holster by a plug of leather, allowing the trigger finger to enter the guard as the draw is begun. Jordan also collaborated with Walter Roper in designing wood grips for heavy caliber double action revolvers, which are now made by Harrods Stocks as the Jordan Trooper. Jordan also favored a double action revolver for law enforcement duties. He was largely responsible for convincing Smith & Wesson to adapt its medium K-frame series revolvers to accommodate the 357 Magnum cartridge, resulting in the Smith & Wesson Model 19 and the Smith & Wesson Model 66
Heck yeah.
combat Magnum models. Classics, absolute classics. Guys, if you can get one of those, either one of those models, the older the better, grab it. So after retiring from the Border Patrol, Jordan served as a Southwest field representative for the National Rifle Association of America. He was a contemporary of Charles Askins, Elmer Keith, Skeeter Skelton, and to a lesser degree, Jack O'Connor. In 1963, Jordan assisted Keith and Skelton in developing the 41 Magnum. He wrote numerous articles on all aspects of firearms, as well as books such as No Second Place Winner, Mostly Hunting, and Tales of the Rio Grande. Jordan was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom by President Ronald Reagan.
Wow.
Using a double-action revolver, Bill Jordan was recorded drawing, firing, and hitting his target in .27 seconds. He appeared on such television programs as To Tell the Truth, I've Got a Secret, You Asked for It, and The Wide, Wide World of Sports. Bill Jordan died on October 7th, 1997, at 86 years of age in Linden, Texas. He was buried at Linden Cemetery. Did I say that correct, Ricky? Linden, Texas, Linden?
I think so.
I know Texas is a big place.
Yeah.
So you can apparently these Harrods stocks you can still buy the Jordan Trooper, and I'm going to do a quick Google search to see if I can.
You fed them right.
See if I can find that.
While you're looking, Jamie, I think he appeared on the Ed Sullivan Show too. God, I'm telling my age.
Man. Y'all got to check out Harrods stocks.
Oh yeah, Harrods are nice stocks.
I had no idea.
Yep.
Wow.
Mr. Lusk is out there.
He's probably working. I wish he was here.
But I watched him put a ping pong ball on his hand like that, and he had wax bullets, and he dropped the ping pong ball, drew, and shot the ping pong ball before it hit the ground. I was amazed. I was just a little kid. I just never seen anything like that.
Well, that don't. It shows. It says no products were found matching your selection. So apparently, the Jordan Troopers are now out of production. But yeah, these things are awesome.
How big a man was he? He was big. He was tall, wasn't he?
I got a clip, and after we go through the side chat, we'll show a clip from a YouTube video. Good to see you too, Kyle. No, we're talking about Bill Jordan, Timothy, but maybe we should do Bob Munden. I think next week we're going to try to do Jelly. What's his last name, Rebel?
Bryce.
Yeah.
Adolphus Bryce.
And we'll talk. We'll try to talk about him next week. We'll go through all these handgun guys, and then we'll get to Jack O'Connor and some of the rifle guys. There's Abigail. What's going on, lady? Glad you could join us.
Hey, Abby.
Look coming here. Look coming here. There's the letter.
Mark.
How you doing, brother?
Real good.
Hey, Mark.
Hello.
Hello, Mark.
Mark.
Hi there. Hi there. Sorry I'm late. Had another really good dinner that I couldn't walk away from.
So your video today?
I was pretty pleased.
Yep, that's a good primer.
Yeah, I think once I get it mounted down, I'm going to like it quite a bit.
Yeah, Jelly Bryce. Walks knows that guy.
Yeah, that's it, Walks.
Great tune, Andy. There is a full orchestra production of that entire song on YouTube.
Oh, yeah. There's
Check
a
it
couple of them.
It is absolutely fabulous.
Yeah, I have it up on Facebook every year. In my memories, I put it up again.
That's so cool. Okay, give me a second, Double A. Let me see if I can find you, brother.
Timothy Burkett, you're correct.
Yeah, ironically, the load they developed too is very similar to 40 Smith & Wesson ballistics.
It just didn't take hold, but sport shooters and hunters loved it. So it's still around for us. Woohoo!
What are we talking about?
41 mag.
41 mag, yeah.
I hope that cartridge sees a resurgence. I mean, in popularity, that's a real deal. I mean,
A good one. It's a good one.
I need to look for one in a contender barrel.
Yeah.
They'd be a good one for that.
Yeah.
my partner Chad at work, he found one in a contender barrel. They're out there. You have to scrounge.
Seems to me like all kinds of the ported barrels are coming up like crazy. Every time I find a caliber that I like, I'm interested in, I look a little closer and it's one of them darn ported ones. I don't want
wrap duct tape around it. It'll be all right.
Yeah. I tell you, we had a Marlin, I think it was a 4570 when they first come out with that ported barrel.
That's that guide gun. Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody tapped all the holes and put grub screws in there.
Yeah, you can't see at night. If you shoot that thing late evening, you're blind, man.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I think it's nuts that people buy those for personal protection. They buy ported barrels. You ever shoot that thing at night, you ain't seeing nothing.
No.
You ain't hearing nothing neither.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to call out the side chat. And
There's Scotsman.
There's the Scotsman in now. Maybe he'll be joining us here in a few. There you go, Timothy. You'll never go wrong with those.
Jamie, how about Model 19 as a side chat?
I was thinking about Jordan.
There you go.
How you doing, Scotsman?
Good, brother. How about you?
Better than I deserve, man. Glad you're here. We're just going to go through the side chat and we'll catch up with you for a minute. Let's type in Jordan and we'll call your name out on TV. And we've already got Walks Fletcher out there, Senior Master Sergeant Bulldogs out there. CW Longshot is on the panel and in the side chat. So is Trees Are Blowing. TAB Videos, welcome in, my brother. Andy 79Z28 is also on the panel in the side chat. Tactical Fudd is out there. Abigail Finnegan's out there. Alaska One, Andy, Andre, D'Angelo. There's my brother, Bama Dad. Papa's Place is out there. Old One Guy, Bobby Barlow, Tim S. Hasbro. Thanks for being here. Walks Fletcher says Border Patrol. Abigail again. Edward Petty. Let's see. We got Yukon 454. Dale Pogue. Mr. Bob is out there. He says Jordan. And Glenn Davis says Bill Jordan. Tommy Boy's out there. Rollis Carvelis, the gun genius. Timothy Burkett. GGW Outdoors is out there. Go Dogs. Fuku YT is out there. Hey, Boom, how you doing? Walks Fletcher says 270 Winchester. M. Gabriel's out there. Let's see. I think that's there. Oh, Dwayne 7834 is out there. Independent Arms is out there. And I hope I got everybody. And Hasbro, too. We're liking the 270 this week, boys. We are loving some 270 Winchester this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
When are we not?
When am I not? when I shoot my 30-06.
That's my thing. You know, if it's so great, how come everybody's got to remind everybody of it? If it was so great, everybody would know.
I can't say nothing. I change up every year. I shoot something with pretty soon it's going to be down to BB guns and like 6 air guns.
I probably hunt with 3 different rifles a year, depending on which stand I'm going to.
I do for sure.
I took my 270 just because, you know, it was a last minute notice that I was going, and I just, well, I'm grabbing this and I know it'll work. Took off. Was going to shoot one with my air rifle, but none of them ever came in close enough.
Mr. Bob, I would like to get that book, but the one I'm looking for right now is Hell I Was There by Elmer Keith. Independent Arms says 30-06 will never die.
Nope, it won't.
It won't. Yukon 454 says 280 Remington rules.
Good cartridge.
Yeah, it is.
CW, you ever shoot those Zinkers out of your 06?
I don't think I ever did.
113
ever did.
grains. It's going really fast.
I don't think I ever did, but I'm going to be playing with 06 here pretty soon. Maybe springtime. Well, maybe I'll try it.
The owner of the land I went to, he still uses the 22-250. Drops them dead every time.
It does.
That couple of dies I got from my friend, there's 357, there's 45 Colt, and there's 30-06. And I don't have a 30-06. Gotta think about curing that problem.
Yep.
That owner, this owner guy that owns the place property, he's my ex-boss is what he is. He turns 80, I think, next week, and he's getting a 22 ARC for his birthday.
I'm intrigued. I have no use for it, but I really like that little case.
It's a Grendel, I mean, isn't it? Pretty much.
Basically, yeah. The Valkyrie never did anything for me. It still doesn't. The ARC doesn't really do anything for me. I really have no use for it. I mean, 223 does everything I need it to do. 22-250 on the faster side, and I don't need either one of those for most of what I do. I mean, my kind of 22 hunting here, the Hornet and the Bee do it for me just fine. But I'm just intrigued. I picked up that 6mm ARC, and I love shooting that thing. It's so accurate, and I love the Grendel since the day I got one.
Yeah,
well, his son uses the 6mm ARC to hunt with, but he's going to get the 22 because he likes shooting 22s.
Yeah.
that'd be a good groundhog round, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, Mr. Bob, are you talking about the Elmer Keith book or the Bill Jordan book? So, I think that every male American should have a 12-gauge shotgun, a 30-06, and a 1911. I just do.
Well, I got that covered.
Yeah. Throw in a good rimfire, and you got a good gun cabinet.
Yeah. Yeah, Mark will get a ease up there, Walks. The man has a 35 Remington lever action, and he has a 45 Colt and all this other stuff. So
I'm getting there.
he's American. He's American.
Playing the game of getting the cartridge first before getting the gun. There's nothing wrong with that. I've done it plenty of times.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Buy the dies, buy the brass, buy the bullets, buy the powder, then get the gun.
Right.
I've got, let's see, I've got 300 H&H for probably about 15 years. I got brand new brass. I got one-sided brass, dies, the whole 9 yards. Never did find a gun. Of course, I don't really have a use for that either, but I always thought I'd run across one somewhere. Still haven't. I got 2 more boxes of bullets yesterday. 300 H&H.
I heard rhinos were being released in Connecticut.
All right, here we go. Y'all ready to see the video of Bill Jordan?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, here we go.
Art Baker. Well, howdy, my friends. Here along the United States-Mexican border, a small but select group of vigilant, uniformed men, they keep unwanted human cargo and contraband from reaching these United States. It's a rugged assignment, but the men of the United States Border Patrol are rugged men, backed up with a reputation for marksmanship and quick draw that's unequaled in law enforcement. Young David Bell of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, asked for it. I recently read an article in Argosy about a border patrolman named Bill Jordan, who, among other feats, can drop a bottle from waist high, draw, and shoot it before it hits the ground. This sounds unbelievable, but I'm asking to see it done. Well, David, I've learned that you can believe practically every amazing thing you hear about the Border Patrol. How about that, Bill Jordan?
We can back up a few things, Art.
Yeah, I'll say you can. You're rather proud of that gun there. What is that, Bill?
I really am proud of this gun, Art. Right at the moment, it happens to be the rarest gun in the world. I'm the only man that had one like it. It's the first of the new 357 Combat Magnums. It's a peace officer's dream.
Gee, it looks like a honey. Now, what we'd like to find out is see if we can see just how fast you can draw and shoot, if you will. Now, over here, we have a very interesting electronic timing device. This was developed by Captain James Brewer of the California Highway Patrol. Works like this, Bill. This is calibrated. These are all seconds, that's all. 1 to 8 seconds. But each second is divided into a tenth of a second. Now, when you depress this, when you're ready, you push down on that. It's at 0. When you release your hand in order to draw, it will start. It's now 2, 3, and 4. However, it'll stop automatically when your bullet hits that target over there. You got it?
Well, that's a new gadget to me, Art. You mind if I give it a little workout before I start? Well, I'll give it a whirl now.
All right. Try one more. Look at this reading. My friends, that is a shade under 5/10 of a second, or less than 1/2 of a second, to draw and shoot. Oh, that is speedy. In fact, that's speedier than I could spell Art Baker. Bill, to what do you attribute this fast reaction of yours?
Well, it takes lots of practice, Art, but there's a little game that's helpful, too. You know, the one where you try to take a coin out of someone's hand?
Oh, gee, I haven't played that since I was a kid. How do you do it?
Well, I put the coin in the palm of your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Then I put my hand over yours, palm up.
Mm-hmm.
I turn my hand, grab the coin, and you try to close your hand, keep it from getting it.
Ah, all right. Let me see. Well, I haven't got it, and you've got it. They say that really is something. Now, for the rest of our Bill Jordan's unbelievable trigonometry, we're going to take you by film to the Los Angeles Police Academy's pistol range. Now, these things on the table there will help us prove Bill's lightning speed. You'll notice that one stubby 38 goes in his left pocket, while his regular police special is placed in a holster by Bill design. Practice falling to the ground. We call on Officer Frank Anthony to give us a hand. The instructions are very simple. The minute you see Bill move, you sound the horn before he can draw and fire. Now watch what happens. Is that too fast for you to follow? Now watch that same action again as the slow motion camera saw it. There's a fatal interval there between the shot and the horn. Now, experts might say that the horn is different from a pistol grip. So, here's another Los Angeles police officer, Sergeant Walter Stark, with a pistol. This time, Bill Jordan's in the hands-up position. That's a quick draw that experts say would best beat even the desperados of the Old West. In addition to sheer speed, Bill also relies on surprise and deception. Remember that other gun he placed in his left pocket? Watch this. Two shots before Stark could react. Now that in slow motion. Bill drew left-handed. He changed gun hands. He fired once and tied with Stark on the second shot. Now notice this bottle reaches the ground in a fraction of a second after it leaves my hand. Now this is talcum powder I put in an ordinary soft drink bottle, and Bill Jordan will drop it from waist high, draw with the same hand, and shoot and break it before it can reach the ground. Amazing. Now, again in slow motion. Bill Jordan, I want to tell you, I'd hate to be outside the law there with fellas like you upholding it, believe me.
Well, fortunately, we seldom have to use our guns, Art, but if the occasion arises, our men are trained to be fast in action.
That's one bad mother right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
That's fast. Did somebody ask how big of a guy
I did. Yeah.
you saw? He was head and shoulders taller than that other guy.
Yeah, and his hands are like pie plates. You know, I got a bad problem there, but his hands dwarf mine.
Yeah, he's fast. Yeah, yeah. The part that amazed me was how he pulled that gun out of his left pocket, switched hands, and shot twice.
Mm-hmm.
And
Sneaky.
yeah, sneaky. But
Practice, practice, practice.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I wouldn't demean the man in any way, but I did notice that when he was dropping the bottle, he tossed it up a little bit to give him
Yeah.
a
A little extra.
yeah.
So
And,
old Bill was 6.5 feet.
6'6".
Yep.
That's what I thought.
Another funny thing, the gun in his pants pocket, they weren't hammerless back then. How did he not get caught?
Like Ricky said, practice, practice, practice.
And you see some of these guys, you know, doing the cowboy shooting, pulling them out and shooting them. It's like, damn. You know,
I know.
how do you? I can't do it.
That one match I went to, there were guys shooting the whole stage in 16 seconds.
Did you see that one guy do it in 11?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's insane.
You look at the side chat, that is very true, Abigail. The more you sweat in training, the less you bleed in combat.
Have a good weekend, Rollis. There's our buddy MCK. He's got his opener tomorrow, season opener tomorrow. And if y'all are wondering where Pat in the Bunker is, he's got family from the Atlanta area out to his season opener tomorrow. Tell it the truth, bulldog. You see the host guy, he just kept shaking his head like.
I wonder how many gunfights the man was actually in. I mean, he had, in no second place winner, I know he regales on some of the Border Patrol dangerous activities, but I'd heard he was in quite a few real live gunfights.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact number off the top of my head, but it was, I'm pretty sure it was in the double digits.
Yeah. So that just goes to show you the border ain't no better.
I have to go through border check out on Highway 90, going to the ranch I go to.
Far out.
They just finished rebuilding it. Somebody ran through it.
It was probably Jerry Reed and
Cannonball Run.
And one night we went to town for something, and 2 trucks in front of me, boy, that dog hit that truck, and they pulled him right to the side quick.
Well, Armament and Axes has come on twice, and before I could speak to him, he's take off again. I don't know, Tommy boy.
I'm trying to think of the name. It just won't come to me.
Oh, yeah.
God. He kind of took Bob Munden's place as a fast draw guy.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name either. He's fast. There's no doubt about it. He's. I don't know if he's Bob, but he's fast.
Okay, there's Armament and Axes. Are you going to stay this time? How you doing, Armament and Axes?
Y'all hear me?
Issues.
Yeah, we can hear you. How you doing, brother?
I hate my phone.
There's chessboard out there. Welcome in, brother.
Hello? Can y'all hear me? Am I here?
Yeah, you're here.
We hear you.
All righty. I'm sorry I have fat thumbs, and I was trying to, and I'm on my phone. I was just going to, I didn't turn my camera on yet. I'm out in my shop. I was just going to say, I'm going to do some experimenting. I've been powder coating bullets and had good results, but I got some OD green powder yesterday, and I'm going to start OD green powdering. But I said, well, wait a minute, I got black, and now I've been doing 2 coats of powder, and I'm wondering what the first coat of black and the second coat, will I get some weird camo? I don't know, but that's what I'm going to do tonight, and it's good to see y'all. I just thought I wanted to come out and do a little experiment, and what not better to this is reloading and stuff. Oh, by the way, I got a 6 cavity. It's 228 grain, round nose, 45 bullet. I got a 2 cavity mold, same, but I got a 6 cavity coming. So, yeah, I'm all into this powder coating and stuff. By the way, Jamie, thank you, brother. You know what I'm talking about.
You're welcome, man. I hope you're feeling better.
I am, and there's some other stuff, Jamie, that we'll talk personal on. But anyway, I'm here. I'm gonna mute my mic right now, and I got to put rubber gloves on. I don't want to get this crap all over me, but I'm only gonna do like maybe 5 or 6 bullets just to see what my experiment of black and OD will look like. Of course, it's going to be shiny because powder coating is, yeah. But anyway, I'm listening. I'm going to mute my mic. I might jump in. But when I get this going, I will definitely turn my camera on and show you what's up. All righty, bro?
I think you'll have different results. This is the thing you need to do. You need to put the green on first, then the black. Then you put on some, you put the black
Really?
first, and then the green. Then you put green on, powder coat it, and then put the black on and bake it again. Then put the black on, bake it,
Okay.
green on, and bake
Okay.
it.
Okay. So, all right, Jamie, you got me going now because I'm going to do it what I said, and then I'm going to do what you said and see what turns out better. All right. We'll do green first and black first, and then switch. This is an experiment. Either way, I can tell you this: I'm having great luck. The bullets that I have powder coated, went on and experimented with, did great. Barrel wise, not a problem. So I'm kind of all in on this because that's what the biggest thing. Why I got away from casting, because lubing them and all that was just messy. The powder coating, it's time consuming. But you know something, reloading's time consuming. But when they're done, you can throw them in a box and store them for 20 years in the hot to cold. It doesn't matter. The lube's not going to blah. You see what I mean? It's not going to foul powder ever. So I'm kind of all in on this. But
all right, go get busy and try those 4 things, and then hopefully you'll be done before the end of the show, and you can show us what turned out.
well, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stay live with you guys. I'll mute my microphone, maybe jump on. It's hard to do when you got rubber gloves and powder everywhere. And trust me, it's y'all done any powder coating? The stuff is just like finer than talcum powder. So anyway, bro, I am here. I will jump back on in a minute. I am listening.
Cool. Yeah, we'll be interested in seeing your results, man. This will be fun.
Yeah, Cisco, I was going to say that, but I was waiting on him to finish talking.
That was the name I was trying to think of.
I'm going to bail out, guys.
Good night, Andy.
Good
Hey,
night, Andy.
Andy.
Good night, Andy.
Andy's posted about 10 videos on Rumble. Anybody who subscribes or wants to check it out, he's got a whole bunch of videos posted over on Rumble.
Well, that's 10 to the 100 that were there already. So, you know. Anyway, I'll catch you guys on the next one. I'll be in the side chat for a little bit.
All right. Thanks, Andy.
Bye, Andy.
So, Bama Dad says he found out the hard way. Powders don't mix like oil paints. That's what's so cool about it. It's depending on which layer you put on first and which one's covering it. And then if you bake the first coat first, then put another coat of a different color, all of that makes a difference. And
something, yeah, for sure. Something really cool that I found out back when I first started powder coating. I wanted to make up my own colors. When I first started out, I only had a couple colors. So I would mix this color, that color, and some colors coated better than other colors. So I figured maybe I can make one that doesn't coat better because this one coats good, this one didn't. What I would end up with, and it was crazy. Let's just say I used a yellow and a blue and a well, green is too close. Let's say yellow, a blue, and a black. I'd mix them all together, and I'd shake my bullets up. And as I went through and did more and more bullets, they would change. Some of the bullets would come out of that mix of powder and they'd be red. And then they would go to yellow. Same powder. I didn't change anything. What would happen was the colors that stick good, didn't matter that they were all mixed up. They still stuck better than the other ones. And it pulled all that color back out of the mix of colors until there was no color to pull out. And then it stuck with the next color that stuck best. It was the craziest thing I ever saw. It would literally change colors the more bullets I tumbled in the bucket.
I think where I learned that the most was when I was by trade, I was a copier mechanic, and when we went to color, learning how they mix the the colors of the toner to make all different kind of colors, and it depends on which one goes on first, which one goes on second, which one goes on third.
Yeah, because they're not opaque.
Right, and then it's all turns that final color when it hits the heat on the fuser, and the perfuser roller presses that toner down into the paper, and that's where I learned about color. And I will say this about that, and we're starting to get some good stuff over there. You guys are awesome. It varies, it changes, like CW was saying. Which color goes on first and which one's on top, that makes a difference. And it's just men don't see colors. None of us see color the exact same way. So, and women see it different from us. How many of you guys have had your wife tell you that you are colorblind? Or some woman tell you? My mother, when I was a little boy, took me to get an eye examination and a colorblind test because she saw colors different than I did.
I used to work for a printing company.
I was just going to say it. Yep.
And I had to take a color test.
Yep.
And they said I had perfect color vision.
Yeah, so did I. I could see the colors. I could see the number. There was numbers for each colors.
Yes.
And you had 300 blues, 286s, 384s, 287s. All these different numbers corresponded to colors, and they were colors that you would print with. They were a mix of yellow, magenta, cyan, and black to make those colors. And then they could do it with a dedicated color.
And so the way CW just said that is the way it lays down yellow, magenta, cyan, or any other way than that.
It would be different, very different color. Yeah.
Yep.
I have a feeling this is a trick question. I would say yellow if it's good and ripe. If it ain't green.
Yeah, anytime you're mixing any kind of paint or any kind of color like that, it's going to look different in the can than it is on the actual product you're putting it on.
Yep. But I don't think Bill Jordan was worried about colors that much. So, just to bring us back full circle.
No, man, I'm sitting here thinking, what would guys like Elmer Keith and Bill Jordan, Skeeter Skelton think about powder coating their cast bullets?
They'd look at you and go, "What you talking about, man?"
Yep, they'd probably look at you like you're nuts.
Yeah, it'd be like Charlie Brassstuffer. He said, "Make them gray. Just make them gray."
Right.
That's the color I use most is a silver, except for Penny's purple.
I like that bronze chrome a lot. Tommy's talking about there. It's a good color.
I didn't know John Deere green was a thing. I gotta find some.
I got a gray from work. I gotta try. I still haven't tried it yet. They were throwing out a whole bunch of powder, and I was like, "I'll take it."
Oh, come on, Ricky! I told you it was a trick question.
I think Ricky might have some of them left-handed cigarettes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about, Bulldog. That's my point exactly. So Tommy Boy used to sell paint. Yeah.
Yep. We had light booths that had color correct light bulbs in them for viewing color. And I'll never forget, I had this customer that told me one day that my color was all screwed up. After she approved it in the light booth at the shop, she went home and she looked at it in the light coming in her morning window, and she looked at it in the refrigerator, and she looked at it in the evening in the living room, and the color was wrong. But it was okay and approved back in my light booth when she signed off on it.
Yep.
Couldn't explain to her
Incandescent
that
versus
it'll change, but it didn't equate to her.
incandescent versus fluorescent versus LED. They all look different.
Yeah.
That's why you'll see a lot of painters when they're painting in someone's house, they'll usually have either a headlamp on or some kind of light with them so they can see exactly what's going on properly and get good coverage.
All right. Best one of the night so far. Chessboard. Snow is white until it melts, and then it's clear. Unless it's yellow.
He ain't wrong.
And if it is, don't eat it.
Right. Good night, Jeremy. Andy. Sometimes it has yellow streaks. That's crazy talk. There's our buddy Garage Guy and our other buddy Big E.
Hey, Big E.
What's going on, brother? So, Garage Guy, who Virginia Tech play this week? He's just hanging.
What? Wallpaper? What?
He's just hanging out, man.
What are you talking about gun guys? Did y'all ever hear the story that Elmer Keith blew the top strap off a single action developing the 44 Magnum?
I think he did more than one.
Yeah. I always said if I figured that was more than one because he didn't give a crap, you know.
There was from the things that I've seen over the years, the accounts, and there's varying accounts of it. But during that process, I know they said anywhere between 5 and 6 was the minimum number that he blew up.
I heard he made junk out of a lot of Smith & Wesson Model 10s.
Yes.
But you gotta remember, you're developing the cartridge, so you're trying to figure out how hot you can go without doing damage. So,
well, I learned something about Bill Jordan tonight. I always thought he used an end frame as big as he was. I did not know he had a hand in developing the Model 19, which in my opinion was the best friggin' Phil and Smith ever made.
Yep, he had the 19 and a few others too. He was big on it, man. And the 19 is an awesome revolver.
Y'all want me to go get mine and show it off? I love
today.
It. Huh?
Not today. We can do a video about it though.
I ain't gonna shoot no bottle on the ground.
Yeah, I'll get another one eventually. The last time I tried to find one is when I came across that 27.
That's crazy, man. That's how color works in your eye. And Ricky's absolutely right. Color is nothing but the reflection of light. Well, everything we see is just the reflection of light.
Well, before I had eye surgery, 4 or 5 years ago now, whatever it was, colors were a lot duller than they are now. Everything is much brighter, clearer, and, the colors look completely different than they did before I had the surgery.
And if y'all will notice, if y'all got any buddies that are like red green colorblind, which occur in men more than women, they can see detail better than you can if you've got good color vision. I worked with 2 red green colorblind guys, and they could pick out something like a deer laying in a broom straw field. They could see its ear. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You know, and even though I've corrected, I've got 20/10 vision. You know, the detail that they see, I guess it's like being blind and your hearing gets better. You know, I don't know. Something about the rods and the cones in your eye, they've got more of one than the other. So
Are you kidding me? This changes everything. The Michelin Restaurant Guide is now doing barbecue. So I think that the Michelin Guide needs to hire Preacher's Day Off.
we could go down a long road with barbecue between Jamie and me and Six. You know, that's 3 different styles right there.
It sure is. Y'all got that mustard-based sauce up there in Carolina, don't you?
No, that's South Carolina.
South Carolina?
Western North Carolina, Eastern North Carolina is oil and hot pepper and vinegar. Western North Carolina adds a little bit of tomato juice and brown sugar. Georgia uses molasses, don't they?
Ours is basically like Sweet Baby Ray's original.
Yeah. Yep. Ours is real thin. And the Eastern sauce is real thin. So the first time I helped cook a whole hog, I was recruited by a bunch of old black guys to help them out at their church. I was like 8 years old, and I shoveled coals in that under their direction, and we got to come to their church and eat the next day. Of course, we had to go to the service. That was 11 o'clock till 2 o'clock. I was a hungry little kid by the time that was over.
So Thorzak's mentioned back up a little bit. He prefers the 586 and the 686 because they're more defined. They were designed for 2 different purposes. So I get where you're coming from as far as the looks and lines of it, but they were designed for 2 different purposes. And the 19 is an awesome, awesome weapon.
Scotsman, don't you think the 19 points just so instinctively? I mean, when you pull it up, it's there.
I can tell you this. When I had mine, years ago before we did the giveaways and stuff, and then we ended up giving that one away. I never had any kind of miss per se outside of everything was always within a quarter inch of where I was aiming. Always. It's one of the nicest point you shoot, and you know it's going to hit where it's going to hit.
Yep, I agree.
Especially if you get one that had the combat trigger and the combat hammer on there, and it's just super smooth.
They are that.
Now, what is the 27?
So the 27 is slightly larger, and they had.
Is it an L? Is it an N frame? Okay.
27's an N. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an N frame.
28's the highway patrolman. The 27 is basically the same gun with a different style barrel.
Right.
Yep.
taper barrel, or a different barrel taper.
Now, people don't give 357 Magnum enough credit. We're talking about 41 Magnums earlier. I've got a customer who's like 5'0", and he's pretty macho little guy. He's got little big man syndrome, and he's always talking about he bases his handgun purchases on, will it stop a bear? And I told him one day, probably in front of too many people, I was like, Gene, if you think that a 41 Magnum or a 10 millimeter is going to stop a brown bear, make sure you save a round for yourself. Okay. It'll help you get to the other side a lot quicker, because you're going to get your butt mauled. And, but a little gunsmith he's from Delaware, and he's retired from Beretta. He frequents the shop, and he's an older guy. He's got Parkinson's, but he still does a little work on the side, and he does great work, great repair work. And he looked at Gene and he said, I've killed 2 bears in my life. He said they were both black bears, and they both charged me. And Gene said, was it a feint charge or was it a real charge? He said, I didn't ask him. I just shot him in the head. And he said, what did you shoot him with? He said, a 357 Magnum. Killed him deader than crap right there. And people don't give 357 Magnum enough credit. That is a powerful, powerful round. Arguably one of the best combat rounds ever made for a revolver, Yep. The 44 special before that. So, but the 357 is a good blend of power and in the right gun, low recoil,
Yep. Ozzy, if you can get Alliant 2400, that's probably going to be one of your better powders for 44.
Yeah, 110 will work, but 24 is great.
I like 24 better than 110.
Mm-hmm.
$2,400 is too good for my cast bullets and rifles. I don't waste it in a 44. H1 296 number 9. I like those powders.
Yep.
I don't waste in a 44.
Right. I don't use the 45 Colt either. It wasn't a strike against the 44.
I know. It was just funny.
45 Colt. I'm a unique man until I run out of it, and I've got quite a bit, and I just love the smell of that stuff. It's dirty as snot, but it's great.
How's it going over there, Armor?
All right. Well, I'm trying to figure out how to flip my cam to the other side, but I haven't figured that out, and I'm here, and I guess I got to turn it around this way, and I'll show you. I don't know if you can see that.
We can see it now. Can you hear us?
Can you guys see? I don't know. Baked.
You already baked those?
I edit avatar, which my avatar's not up there, so it doesn't really matter. I never got to that. But yeah, I don't know how to flip my cam to the other cam. You know what I'm saying? This is the here. Let me try something. That didn't work. Oh, crap. I don't see. I'm lost, guys. I'm on my phone, by the way. Did you guys see him?
Yeah, we saw him.
Let me. All right, let me turn the exhaust fan off. That's loud. But anyway, yeah. I mean that's first coat. I was going to show you this. Let me put it up here. That's these are 147 grain, Yeah, you can see the oven's getting hot. Those are 147 grains, 2 coats of black powder coat. I wasn't so much worried about if the nose got coated. I was just the bearing surface. That's the big thing. But anyway, those are OD green and black, and we're going to do 10 of each. And I'm going to turn my cam off when we're doing this. You don't need to see them bake. I'll just lay back here dormant, but I'm going to do, because it does not take long to bake them. Now I'm going to show you down here. I have got a process going here. By weighing those bullets, I think I come up with about 850 of both. I cast a bunch of these. Can you see those? That's the 124 or 5. Doesn't matter. They end up 125 or 6 after powder coating, but I got this down. I'm grabbing them with this little dude. Of course, I'm wearing rubber gloves and it's dusty and all that. But I tell you what, guys, I'm going to experiment here and we're going to see if Jamie's way turns out better or my way turns out better. And I don't care. I just want to see how they turn out. So we'll get back with you guys.
That's so cool, man.
Jamie, I'll be right back. I'm going to refuel.
All right, man. There you go. Hit the cog and then the camera. What G23 said. So I'm looking for the answer to your trivia question about my dad. Did you put it in there?
Oh, there he goes.
Oh, Big Bob Gibson. That's a good formula.
Yep.
I think what we need to say though is there you go. I'm counting on that. That is a win there, garage guy. So Big Bob Gibson's has won the most barbecue competitions. Good to know.
I've got friends that's entered all kinds of contests and win all kinds of stuff. So to find good barbecue for me is, it's hard to go to a restaurant and say it's good barbecue.
Because what we do at home is usually better.
Yeah.
That's what I found with that mission. It was good. Everything was good, but that brisket was just outstanding. I can't say it any other way. The turkey was good, but I think mine was better. And the pulled pork was just pulled pork. It was good, but it wasn't knock your socks off. But that brisket was knock your socks off. It was everything. It had everything I wanted, everything I liked in the taste of it. And you didn't need any sauce at all. It was just eat it. It was good.
Yeah, if you got put sauce on it, it ain't no good barbecue.
Yeah, it was just good. It was. I wanted to get back up and get a whole other plate of just that brisket.
I got tons of friends that work for the light company, and they have an annual barbecue cook-off for the light company. You go there, I'd go over there with them, and you taste everybody's barbecue, man. It's good. But my best friend that works for the light company, he would never cook a brisket, because if you win in brisket, you have to show up at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo for their big barbecue, but to represent the light company, and he never wanted to do that. That's a big mess down there. But he won chickens, he's won ribs, and just everything.
Yeah, barbecue's got to be done right, man. If it ain't low and slow and that, it usually tends out being bad. There's a company out here that the company I work for, every now and then they'll get barbecue for us, and it's I don't eat it. I ate it once, and it was horrible. They were all bragging about how good it is, and it was just terrible,
Well,
dry.
you got to get the right amount of smoke on it, and you get it off of there, wrap it up, stuff like that. About 220, 225 for about 8 hours.
Whole hog is a real art.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
What Bama Dad's saying. Guys, listen. A lot of y'all are throwing out recipes and all that. That's great. That's fun to talk about. But you guys that are doing reloading, you need to get in your books. Don't pay attention to what we're saying. What works for us and our guns may not work for you and yours.
Yep.
Start low, work up.
There's always slight differences between mine and yours, even if you have the same firearm.
Yep.
Well, I'm seeing that. I'm seeing that a lot lately. I've got two Marlin 30-30s. One of them is an older model that has the Ballard rifling, and the other one has the micro groove. And of course, that's going to make a big, huge difference.
Mm-hmm.
But they're going to take two total of different loads.
Yep.
Thanks, Big E. That needs to be.
Yep. Mark said, always start low and work your way up.
Yeah. And Terry's reloading says the same thing. Book first. Always reduce 10%. What I really like that Hodgson does is put some dode data on the front of the label. That's really helpful. Not that I would necessarily use that data that's printed on those labels without double checking it, double confirming it, but it gives you an idea in the store what that powder is designed to do. And when you get into some of these faster burn pistol powders, that's really helpful because there's so many of them that are not that far apart in burn rate, but they also can be used in shot shell loading too. So having a shot shell load data and a pistol data on the actual label, that's game changing to me.
So Ozzy's asking large or large magnum for primers. Man, you can pretty much use either or. It's not going to make too much of a difference. I've used both, and I've never had an issue using just regular large primers.
I'll tell you where you might want to use a magnum. If you're using a ball powder and you've got a shorter barrel, you can turn your hunting rifle into a flamethrower. I've seen that happen. It'll throw a fireball, scorch a wooden bench, and it just doesn't burn as efficiently. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And talking of big bore calibers, since we're talking Bill Jordan and stuff, there are certain books out there that are caliber specific, and those are great to have as well. They have they have more specific data than your average books do, because a lot of times those books, they all kind of go from each other. Some of the individual ones that are actually designed for that caliber are going a little more in detail, and you'll get more information.
Do they still make the little 1 caliber, little binder reloading books where they pull from everywhere?
I don't know if they do or not. I know the ones that I have, all those recipes are out of older books too. So
yeah, you got to watch it.
You got to watch that nowadays. You need the up to date manual if you're learning how to reload.
Yeah, the old spear book with a stagecoach on it. You can blow up a gun quick using that data.
Yeah, you got to remember that these companies change the powders as they go over the years, and the burn rate changes and stuff. So
yeah,
you got to really pay attention to that.
I don't know if those little books are still in production or if they use the newer data or not.
I've got one, the one I recall. I've got several. I've got a shotgun one that's about that thick, but I've got a 4570 one, and it's pretty up to date. Like Lyman 47, up to date.
Yeah, the few that I have for 357, 44 and stuff, they're fairly up to date because I've pushed some of the higher loads in them and I've never had a problem.
I'll tell you the most conservative book out there, and I'm not telling anyone not to follow the book. That's not what I'm saying. You know, whatever you feel safe doing. But the Burger book for precision shooting, it's got more calibers in it that you've never even seen in a reloading book than you can imagine. It has 6x45, which Hodgkins has actually on their site. It's got a couple different Wildcats, 6 PPC, 6 BR, 280. But it is so conservative. I mean, I'm not going to mention grains or any kind of weights, but it is, their maxes are you can tell the lawyer was involved.
And the other thing to remember too is if in doubt, you can always reach out to the manufacturer, look on their website, or reach out and ask them a question. You know, same thing with the powder manufacturers. Reach out to the powder manufacturers and talk to them. You know, they're usually pretty damn good about getting back with you and talking to you because they don't want to have any problems.
Yeah, but it's just like you said, Scotsman. I just had to send a rifle back. I'm not going to say the brand unless y'all want me to, because a guy was shooting factory ammo. He was shooting federal ammo, and it was fine. He bought 3 different boxes. He shot 2 rounds out of each box, and he couldn't hardly get the bolt open. And so I examined the chamber with my bore scope. I've got a really high dollar bore scope there at the shop, and it had chatter marks all in it, and that's what was sticking the brass. And I had to send it back. And I have to say I wasn't real satisfied with the customer service because when I called and asked if they were going to issue me a call tag, you know, to send it, they said just follow the directions on the website. Anyway, I had to pay for it. So I lost all the profit sending it where it needed to be repaired. I lost all the profit on that gun. So I called back and complained, and they said, well, did he know you were a dealer? And I said, yes. I said I was a dealer. And he said, well, he should have. I said, well, how about compensate me for this? Well, we can't do that.
Yeah.
I won't out the brand unless y'all want me to, but
I've come across that a few times over the years. It depends on the company. Most of the companies out there are usually pretty good. The worst one that I've had dealing with is Kimber and Car. Car Arms is horrible as well. Car Arms is one of the worst. the service, regardless if you're a dealer or not a dealer. They are horrible. But Kimber's pretty bad.
I had to pay
Usually, like your Ruger and your Remingtons and stuff like that, they're usually pretty decent.
I had to pay to ship my Henry back twice.
Well, I'll tell you what y'all do, and it's your FFL ought to be telling you this. So if an FFL is anything like if FFL's all over the country or anything like me, I shop from 4 or 5 different distributors. I mean, different distributors run sales. Scotsman knows this. You might pick up one and quote a guy a price and then find one, hey, $15 cheaper. Well, in the gun business, selling a new gun, if you can make $15 extra bucks, that's great. You know, that's great. Or you can choose to pass that on to your customer. 9 times out of 10, I choose to pass that on. But if you buy a gun from Davison's, which is located in North Carolina and in Prescott, Arizona, they usually get Rugers faster than most people. You don't have to send it back to the manufacturer. All your FFL has to do is call Davison's, and they're a little bit more pricey. They're like $20 higher, but you call Davison's, unquestionable lifetime warranty. Boom, it goes back to Davison's. They either repair it or have it repaired, or they replace it. No questions asked.
Okay, guys, if I can be so bold as to interrupt, we're almost 10 minutes past time for our verse of the week. Let me see if I can do this. And I want to thank Bama Dad for this, and we'll get into some of his words here in a minute. Tonight, we've been talking about Proverbs lately, and this is probably the last verse that we'll cover in Proverbs. Proverbs 27:17 says, as iron sharpens iron, so a man sharpens the countenance of his friend. So, you're talking about like metals here, and I think Bama Dad put this best, and I have some commentary up here for this, but he writes to me that I've always sharpened my own knives. Do I know that you can rub 2 pieces of like hardness together and get nothing in return but heat? It has always caused me to know there was more to it. I freely played with the concept that God was saying that one piece of iron has gone through the fire and has become harder, allowing it to affect a change of the less hard piece of iron, hence sharpening it. I still believe that. Actually, no, it's the only way it could work. However, today I see the emphasis is really more geared toward the relationship between 2 men, one who has been tested and found faithful, one who yields to the stronger in order to grow. So we so often throw that scripture out there, but I have to wonder, do people really understand its meaning? You never know what or how your witness affects the lives of others. And I replied, I've never looked at that particular scripture in that exact light, but what you say is always true in every aspect of relationships. None of us are on the same level. While you've been tested and hardened in one aspect of life, me in another. There's always a lot that we can learn from each other, especially when one is more spiritually mature than the other. And that's called discipleship. When both are mature Christians, that's iron sharpening iron in my mind. It's that fine honing of good metal ready to be used by God for kingdom work. and that probably sounds like a Sunday school type answer, and it probably is. So, so a piece of iron can sharpen another piece of iron, but it happens through striking, friction with sparks. We think of the iron of blacksmith's hammer working on a sword to make it sharp. So a man sharpens the countenance of his friend. A man can be using to sharpen, improve, and develop his friend. It may happen through a bit of friction and sparks. We shouldn't be afraid of the friction that leads to godly sharpening. One of the commentators, Waltke, says the analogy infers that the friend persists and does not shy away from critical but constructive criticism. Bridges there says, gladly let us take up the bond of brotherhood. If a brother seems to walk alone, sharpen his iron by godly communication, walking together in mutual concern for each other's infirmities, trials, and temptations. And there, the word countenance. We think of it as appearance or the look on a man's face. But Kidner there says almost equals personality here, like soul. It can stand for the man himself. So when two brothers come together, both in discipleship as a more mature Christian helps develop a younger Christian into a stronger walk with God. That's one aspect of what we're talking about here. But when you have two mature Christian men who enter into a concept of accountability, like accountability partners, you've got two hardened steel objects there that are doing nothing but making each other better. And it's like mine and Bama Dad's conversation in those text messages. It's the idea of what I picture is a sharpening rod, a steel sharpening rod that you see the chef sharpen his knife on that rod. You're experienced, you've been tested and found faithful in different aspects of your life, and you help each other in the weaknesses. And you when you do this, you have to agree that we can say whatever we need to say to each other, and we're not going to get mad at each other, and that what we say to each other stays strictly confidential in relationship, that it's not going to be told to anybody else. Am I making any sense, or am I just bumping my gun?
No, you are.
Making plenty of sense.
It reminds me of, this may be totally off track. And I was going to ask you what what was the definition of countenance in this proverb. You explained that. But a couple of weeks ago, I had a customer who was a law enforcement officer here in my county that responded with a group. The sheriff of Catawba County is pretty smart. He picked 4 rednecks and then picked the rest of his can-do crowd. But the 4 rednecks that were his deputies responded up to Burnsville, North Carolina. And for y'all that don't know this, me and Jamie have talked about it. Burnsville was probably the hardest hit area from Helene in 4 states. It's very steep, very rugged. A lot of people died. And he was relating, he was there for 11 days, and he saw some things you could never unsee. And I guess he decided, I was a good friend and he was going to tell me about those things. And as he sat there and talked and we were outside, I was letting the guys handle the business and he started telling me stuff, and I got to admit, man, I broke down. It was awful. It was awful. You can't imagine human beings going through something like that. And he had seen it. So he was the steel that had been sharpened by the rod, by the things he had saw and the humanity suffering, the help he gave, the help he saw other people's gave, the others gave that I haven't experienced. And just to hear that, I was kind of in awe of, very, very humbled by the man. You know, we all want to give, we all want to help out, and I've sent stuff up there, and you know, I've got a kind of a Toys for Tots thing going at the shop, and that's one thing. But to actually go up there and rescue people and help people and feed people and get them to safety and recover their loved ones' bodies, you know, I maybe at my age anymore, I'm getting a little soft. I'm more tender. I don't think I could do that. And just being there talking to him helped bolster my strength as far as what a man could stand, you know. That might not make any sense at all. But
I think it's right on what Jamie said.
It makes perfect sense, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I've talked about it before, but over the years, I used to generally only stick more to higher end military, former military, because they have better firearms handling skills than your general population do. One of the guys that worked for me when I was in Georgia, he was someone who served during D-Day, and he found the confidence, just like with you, Mike, to go in and tell me some of the stories. And I'll tell you, man, that'll harden someone real fast.
That's horrific. Yes.
You know, it's I can't begin to describe some of the stuff that he told me, and it's just like, you know, you're hard as nails, dude. Hard as freaking nails.
I had a friend that, you know, I worked in the retirement industry as a HVAC guy for 25 years, and I had a good friend. He's passed on now. He died at 103, and he was a Marine on Guadalcanal and had a silver, bronze, and Purple Heart. And he would tell me stories like they were a joke. You know, they were taking sniper fire, and two guys got hit, and his sergeant had him draw short straws, and he drew the short straw and had to take the Tommy gun and run through the jungle and kill the sniper. And he was talking about it like it was, you know, he was going to pick up fried chicken at Kentucky Fried Chicken, you know, and I was just in awe of the man.
Right. Yep. No, I've had a few like that. I had one guy that was special forces, and he was telling me some of the stuff, and he freaked a lot of people out that worked with us as well. But I just laughed. You know, he cracked me up. He was a good dude. But some people would get freaked out by some of the stuff he would say, and I'm just like,
snake eaters will freak people out. Yeah.
Like, just let it go. He's a good dude. Just let it go.
Mm-hmm.
My dad and all of my uncles, they served in World War II, and I couldn't get none of them to talk to me about that stuff.
I think the only reason that the guy that jumped on D-Day was talking to me was because I was one of the only people that stepped up to make sure when they were doing the Memorial Day and stuff like that, and Veterans Day and all the rest of it, that he was right at the front of the store. They wanted to put him in the back of the store. And I told every single person in that place, absolutely hell no, you're putting him at the front of the store. And I fought for him all the time to make sure he was up front every single time.
I asked Joe why he told me what he told me. He said, because I didn't want to relate to my family what I had to do on that island.
Right.
He said, it doesn't matter what you think about me. He said, I didn't want to tell my family that.
You got to remember, these people have seen a lot of stuff, and they're going to go to someone who they trust and can confide in. And if you're that one person that's stepping up to the plate and being there for them and just, being a friend, they're going to come talk to you at some point.
You proclaim and talk about things you're proud of, things that your accomplishments in life. When you have to do things like that, that's not things you're proud to pass on or share.
But back to Jamie's verse, you think as a man, and if you're macho, you kind of go, I'm a pretty hard guy. I've seen stuff. I've seen loved ones die. I've been through a lot. And then there's that guy that comes up that has seen way more than you have. And you can either bow up and try to do one better, tell a story better, but at some point you're just lying, man, because they've seen the real deal.
All right, fellas.
But the only thing I ever got my dad to talk about was he said he'd like to play craps a lot. He said they was always playing craps.
My granddad shot a lot of pool and played a lot of pinocchles, and he would send multiple paychecks back home to my grandmother. All right, we got to quickly go through the room and clear the deck for Gizzard Gary coming up next at 10 o'clock. Armament and Axis, do you have anything down there to show us?
Well, it's weird because it said my internet wasn't working. Some people's internet was glitching and some were not. I don't know. That light's not doing it justice. I don't know. Maybe. Hey, there we go. All right. First vote. Green. Odie. That's supposed to be Odie Green. And then we got black. Now, this only takes a minute. So I'm going to see if I can get this done before the show's over, but I doubt it. But Jamie, I definitely will let you know. And I have gotten pretty good at doing this. See if I can get it this way. It doesn't work when I turn it sideways. I don't know. But honestly, I've gotten pretty good. One coat would probably do it. But, like I said, I'm not. Actually, that's a 124 got in there somehow. Hey, I don't care. Powder coat them all. Those are the 147s. But, yeah. And this whole tray, when I powder coat mass, I mean, they are lined up like, not falling over, of course, but I mean, they're like this close. And it takes a minute to set them up, but it is so much worth it. So anyway, that's where I'm at. But yeah, I doubt I'll make the end of the show to get. What's that?
Yeah, it's cool stuff, man. You got anything coming up this week? We're about to sign off.
No, not really, brother. I just honestly, I plan on doing some loading this weekend. I have, like I said, the same amount. Here, I'll kick my camera back on just for a minute, just so you can see. Get out of the way. That I think I might have sent you and Scotsman. I know I sent Scotsman a picture after I got my 6-cavity molds, and man, I borrowed his 40 cal 6 cav, and I cast a lot of bullets. But now that I'm getting into this powder coating thing, yeah, my bullet factory's up and running again. So, by the way, Jamie, thank you again. You helped me. That's all I'm gonna say, brother. I honestly, it was like, well, I had worked so much this week, and it's like, I want to make sure I get on Jamie's show tonight just to say hey, and here I am, and there we go. Love you, brother.
Love you, brother. Keep us updated on the progress.
I sure will. I'll probably text you some pictures or whatever and let you know. I'm curious. I'm curious to see if the black or green first vice, because I'm going to try and do the camo thing, see how it works. So, all righty, guys. As I always say, peace to all. Stay 2A strong. You guys are my family. All you guys out there, I swear, I have not found a tighter knit family than, and especially a bunch of you guys, Scotsman and Jamie, two of them the most, that good people. And I'm just glad to be part of it, brother. Peace to all. Stay 2A strong.
Thank you for being here. Mark Thomas, what you got coming up this week?
Well, just going to be as busy as usual. We got school going on, and my son's trying out wrestling this year, so that's going to take up some evenings and weekends. We'll still be trying to do some airsoft, but I got some loading in mind. I, of course, got that new little primer, benchtop primer. And with all this talk lately of Elmer Keith and all that, Skeeter, I got some 45 special brass a couple weeks back. I want to load up some of those, and I might even look at getting myself maybe a snubby or some kind of short barrel 44 special. We'll just see. So that's what I got coming up, and of course we got hunting season coming here in about a week or so. Try to get a little bit of film out in the woods. So great to have been here. Thank you for having me. Great to see everybody. Take care. Have a great weekend and a great week.
Sounds great, man. Looking forward to it. Mr. Rebel, what you got coming up this week?
Selling guns. Hopefully see the grandbaby this Sunday. She is a chunky little 1-year-old, and just a lot of my life. Of course, me and my wife are kind of semi empty nesters. My youngest daughter's in college at Western Carolina, which didn't get hit, oddly enough, that hard by Helene. And over there at nearer to you, Jamie, west of Asheville, Tuckasegee River type thing, and beautiful area. But my wife's going up to see her tomorrow. I'll probably be batching it for supper, but mostly my life is 2 Jack Russells and selling guns, and they go with me everywhere. So
that's very cool.
Yeah.
And if y'all think Rebel's hyper, you ought to see some Jack Russells.
Jesus Christ.
They're notorious. Thanks for being here, brother. We enjoyed you. And,
Thank you.
Hopefully you can come back.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Six, what you got coming up, bro?
Oh, got that BSA scope back from BSA. They sent me a brand new one. If y'all seen that video this morning.
Watched the video. Yep, watched it.
And I'm going to mount that back on the 22 barrel here. I picked up another Lee 358 125 mold today, so I can have 2 of them, so I can supply the wife with bullets. So I'm going to break that in the morning. Got some casting to do. So I got a 4-day week next week. I'm off next Friday, and I don't go back for a whole week. I'm off all Thanksgiving week too. So
great.
Hopefully I'll go get to the range, man, do some shooting.
That'd be great.
Yep.
It'd be great.
That's it for me.
Well, thanks for being here, brother.
Appreciate being here.
All right. Scotsman, what you got coming up, brother?
First off, great to see Rebel. Good to see you, brother. Appreciate you being here, man.
Thank you, sir.
Good to see the pie pot too.
Yeah, that's Peterson made in Dublin. Yeah,
my fellow pipe smoker.
Yeah.
Yep, I got my Peterson sitting right beside me too.
I hear you.
Good to see you, man. Yeah, he's selling freedom, man. Gotta love it. I got a few videos coming up this week. I got one. I got another product from a company they sent out. They sent me the wrong product last week. They sent the right product this week, so we'll get a video done on that. They've been pretty good to me so far, so you guys will see that. And then I got another video for a company who basically wanted to sell out, and I don't sell out. So guess what? The video ain't going to be pretty for them. So you're gonna see me tear into a company, and then I have another video that will be going up on the other channel, on the Pup Goes the Weasel channel. So if you guys ain't subscribed to that channel, please jump over there. I do plan on trying to get back into a weekly video over there. That was the entire point of it. As you know, I've had a lot of stuff going on health-wise and stuff, so trying to get back into that regardless of what's going on. This isn't going anywhere fast, so we're just going to push through and do what we got to do. So we're going to try and get those videos back going once a week over on that channel. So I'd appreciate folks over there. Good to see everyone out in the side chat. Good to be here. Good to see everyone on the panel. Appreciate y'all. Stay safe. Stay vigilant. And God bless America.
Amen.
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 Before we move over to our co-host, Mr. CW Longshot, we got to do this. Y'all ready?
You just made it.
Go, Mark.
3, 2, 1.
Hey.
Mario.
He's on West Coast time.
Ain't it the truth? All right, CW, what you got coming up this week, brother?
Well, we're running late, so I'm just going to say thanks for everybody coming. Thanks for everybody on the panel. Hope you have a wonderful week. We'll see you all next time.
Thanks for being here, brother.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
Got to get up early for hunting in the morning. My hunting buddy is bringing his 12-year-old grandson. I can't wait.
Nice.
That's going to be so fun.
That's awesome.
Otherwise, I would sleep in. I've been up and
That's
out
awesome.
every morning this week. So, yeah. Guys, thank y'all for watching. Thank you for joining us. We hope y'all all have a great week. We hope you enjoyed the show. If you enjoyed it, give us a like down there. It'll make a difference as to some kind of thing they do. Anyway, we hope the Lord blesses you all real good. And if he's willing, we'll see you all again next Friday night at 8 o'clock. Say good night, y'all.
God bless everyone.